Hello, as Peter said, welcome to a new series of webinars hosted by myself, James, here at IQ Option. Now, today, what we're going to look at is SWOT analysis for stocks, as Peter so rightly mentioned. Now, the world of stock analysis is indeed an exciting one. Here at IQ Option, we do offer a wide variety of stocks to choose from. No matter what, whether you're a short-term trader, whether you're a long-term trader, we do have the stocks and tools for you. Now, today, what we're going to go through, I'm just going to quickly share my screen with you so you can see what I can see. Okay, here we go. Now, what we're going to cover what is SWOT analysis. We're going to cover the benefits of SWOT analysis, a combination of SWOT analysis with price action. And we're also going to look at a live analysis of one stock in particular called Salesforce. Now, SWOT analysis, what it is. SWOT analysis is the analysis of a company's competitive position by assessing what is going on with the company internally and externally. Now, by using a company's SWOT analysis, you'll get an insight into the company's strengths. Now, what in particular we're looking at in strengths are either tangible or intangible qualities that a company has to offer, and that they're there to help achieve the company's goals. Weaknesses. Weaknesses are the qualities that obviously do not help a company reach their goals and can have a negative impact both financially and commercially. Opportunities. Now, opportunities are determined by the industry or sector environment that the company actually operates in. There are also threats to the company. Now, threats are often outside interference that is out of the company's control. Okay, some examples of that. This might be, we might be looking at regulations, we might be looking at financial institutions, things like that. But what are the threats to the company itself? Now, in trading, SWOT analysis is used as a form of fundamental analysis. Now, you as a trader have the opportunity to make informed decisions on the stock you are trading. Now, analysis is based on facts by analyzing the information given on the report itself. Now, as a trader, you can also make strategic, well-informed trades, being able to formulate a trading plan and a strategy based on the information that is given to you, but also capitalizing on opportunities, using the information that we can provide you to capitalize on certain events like earnings reports. Now, one of the stocks in particular we're going to have a look at, Salesforce. They do actually release an earnings report on the 4th of June after market closes. So let's have a look at the Salesforce itself, okay? I'm going to show you where you can find an in-depth SWOT analysis of these stocks themselves. Now, here we've got Salesforce itself. All we need to do to find an in-depth SWOT analysis of any stock on the platform, we click on information here, and we bring up more information so we can see the information, the news, earnings, calendars, etc. Now, to bring up the in-depth analysis, just click on full information here, and it will take us to the web browser version where we do have lots of information about each stock in particular. So, for example, we can scroll down here, and we can see that on the 4th of June, they do actually release an earnings. Now, the previous one was 0.74, which was smashed the forecast. The forecast for this time round, for quarter one, is 0.61. But let's have a look at the in-depth SWOT analysis. Now, so here we have the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. The strengths of Salesforce. Okay, so the company is massively outperforming the S&P 500 index. Now, Salesforce itself is up 11.62% year to date. And the S&P is only up 11.02, and Salesforce is a big participant in the S&P 500. They also have a high cash stash. Now, this might sound as if, okay, so it's not actually making money, it's just levels of cash in reserve. But it does give Salesforce the opportunity to be flexible and navigate difficult economic times and perform acquisitions. The brand name itself. Now, Salesforce has been a pioneer in the customer relationship management software. and it is the company with the largest market share in customer relationship management. Now, in 2016, it did become a Fortune 500 stock and is ranked one of the world's most innovative companies. Financial performance. Both the company's revenues and EPS exhibited positive growth at the back end of 2019. Now, company guidance. The company started their outlook that they are going, so the company stated that their outlook, they are going to be the first in the enterprise software industry to hit the milestone of $10 billion in revenues. They also have an EPS surprise history. Now, the company has either met or beaten expectations on their EPS and revenues for the past 20 straight quarters. Now, whenever we see a company beating the EPS statement, that is obviously very good news for the stock, which gives us positive outlook for the 4th of June. Now, the fiscal quarter 4 of 29, the company managed to beat both EPS and revenue consensus estimates. But, like I said, there are weaknesses to the stock as well. Let's have a look at some. No dividend. So a lot of companies pay dividends to their shareholders when the stocks are doing well. Salesforce does not, which doesn't make it very appealing to a lot of oriented investors. They also have a weak R&D. Now, over the past couple of years, Salesforce's research and development has been quite sluggish. It's been lagging against its competitors, giving the competitors obviously the advantage. But the opportunities. We see high switching costs. Now, Salesforce's subscription-based model of software as a service has very high switching costs, meaning that if a customer would like to change to an alternative product, the cost and time needed to train its workforce and transfer all data to the new system would be prohibitive. Collaborations as well. Now, Salesforce has teamed up with IBM, and it's the next big thing apparently in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence itself, the company is building Salesforce Einstein to tap the fast-growing AI market. Now, Einstein is an artificial intelligence program that analyzes customer data under a user-friendly, all-in-one data management helper. Now, acquisitions as well. Given the fact that in this industry, it is hard to lure customers away from rivals. Now, Salesforce realized that, and proceeding with acquisitions is what it takes to attract large pools of customers from its competitors. Now, the latest acquisitions of Salesforce is MuleSoft, which has large companies underneath it, like Coca-Cola, Audi, Barclays, and several others. And now let's have a look at the threats. Its biggest rivals, we would say probably Microsoft and Oracle. Now, they do threaten the company's market share. Now, while the industry is fragmented, includes many new startups, that can become a potential competitors in the future. Competition as well. The market in which the company operates is characterized by intense competition. Now, this could lead to market erosion share in the future. Integrational risk. The company faces an integration risk as part of its growth strategy in order to acquire and integrate its competitors. Now, if the company fails to create these anticipated synergies and grow from its acquisitions, the company's financial and stock performance might be negatively affected. There's also a currency risk as well. Now, the company does generate a significant part of its revenues from international markets, and as a result, currency volatility can impact the financial performance in an unpredictable manner. Now, what I'm going to show you now, I'm going to show you how to combine SWOT analysis with price action. Now, for those of you that have never traded stocks, okay, price action is something that you can apply to all forms of trading. Okay, some things that people don't even realize is that what does a candlestick actually show you? It's not just a green candle that represents people buying. Okay, it's not just a red candle that represents people selling. Now, the Japanese candles will always show you the opening price, the closing price, a high of the session, and the low of the session. Now, price action uses that price information that you can find within the candles on the chart. When using price action, the candles show price patterns, which in turn help you identify potential entry and exit points. So I'm going to show you two price action patterns today. The first one is an engulfing pattern, a bullish engulfing pattern, which usually indicates the start of an upwards trend. Now, what are we looking for when we're looking for these patterns? Now, a possible bullish entry or buying signal would be when we see a green candle that seems to engulf or take over a red candle. Okay, I'm going to show you a closer look at that now. Now, as we can see here, this right here is the perfect example of a bullish engulfing candle. So the Salesforce is a stock. These are 7-day candles. Okay, bear in mind, so what we're looking at here is an awful lot of information. We're looking at Salesforce as a company back to 2017. Now, Salesforce has been growing, as we can see, as a company. It's a massive company in the industry, but its job is always to grow. Okay, if the company's not growing, then it's failing. At the end of the day, the stock market should always be going up. The company should always be making more and more money and growing in its industry. But as we can see right here, at the back end of 2018, we did see some downwards movement happening. Now, whenever there's some downwards movement in a stock, it's usually because of some bad news. Okay. Now, in regards to this itself, the bad news had nothing to do with Salesforce. Okay. At the back end of 2018, you may have seen it, you may have not. Donald Trump shut down the government in the US, which had a massive impact on the entire stock market, and every single stock in this market did seem to fall considerably. But like I said, there was the correction, and then the uptrend continues. But let me show you what we're looking out for in particular. Now, so like I said, this is the bullish engulfing candle, okay, where we can quite clearly see the green candle does seem to swallow up the smaller red. But right before it, this is where we can see the actual price action happening. So we can see that over the past few weeks, Salesforce was on a continued downwards trend until right here. This is what we call a shooting star candle, where the top wick and the bottom wick of the candle is both longer than the body of the candle. Now, what is that actually telling us? What it's telling us is that there's uncertainty in the market. There's lots of people buying, there's lots of people selling. There's lots of people buying, there's lots of people selling, and this is what we're looking out for in particular. That is the uncertainty, and then we see the bullish engulfing, and then we see the uptrend continue. Now, what I'm going to show you now, I'm going to show you a live analysis of the platform itself. Okay, right, now I'm going to show you a live analysis of Salesforce itself. Okay, right. Now, what we're looking out for in particular, now we're going to have a look at some price action. Now, this is Salesforce itself. As we can see, it's been going quite big. Like I said, you know, the stock has been moving up until the back end of 2018, where we saw the downwards trend happening. This is, like I said, Donald Trump shut down the government, nothing to do with Salesforce themselves. So I want to show you, though, where we can identify the bullish engulfing candles. Now, here's one right here. Now, this is what we call the bullish engulfing candle. We can see the uncertainty in the market here. Okay, so we can see lots of buyers, lots of sellers trying to take control. We can see the top wick and the bottom wick of the candle both longer than the body of the candle itself. And then we see the bigger green candle engulfing the smaller one, indicating obviously the upwards trend starting. Now, there are other examples as well. We can see bearish engulfing candles. Now, a bearish engulfing is exactly the opposite, okay? When we see the red candle seem to swallow up the much smaller green, indicating the start of a downwards trend happening. And again, there's more examples here. So, right here, another example of the bearish engulfing pattern. The red candle quite clearly swallows up the green candle here, and then we see a large downwards trend happening all the way down here. And then again, we've got the bullish engulfing. And then this is what I was talking about, the uncertainty in the market. Now, before you ever see a change in the trend, okay, there will always be uncertainty in the market previously. So the sellers quite clearly are in control here. We can see them pushing down the price every single day. Salesforce was opening up lower than previously. We can see the uncertainty in the market happening here. Then we see more uncertainty, and then we see the bullish engulfing starting all the way up, and on a continued upwards trend. Now again, bearish engulfing patterns. Now this is where we're at today. So this is the live price. Now Salesforce actually opens up in, as we can see, in 12 minutes and 41 seconds time. Now, what I'm also going to show you though, so as we can see over the last month or so, over the last 3 months, we can see that the stock of Salesforce does seem to have hit its peak. Okay, we can see lots of buying action happening, lots of selling action happening. This stock is quite volatile. Okay, we're seeing lots of upwards movement, downwards movement, but this is the perfect asset for you to apply price action to. Okay, so let's have a look again. So here again, we can see the uncertainty in the market right here, the bottom and the top wick, longer than the body itself. Then we see the bullish, bearish engulfing and the downwards trend happening. Again, right here, uncertainty in the market, body of the candle open and closed, pretty much where it started, but there was lots of buyers, lots of sellers coming in. And then we see the bullish engulfing and we see the pattern start again, all the way up. Again, bearish engulfing pattern. Okay, and then we can see the bearish engulfing pattern here. We can see the uncertainty in the market right here. And then we see the larger red candle, again, seems to swallow up the previous green. Now, this, like I said, indicates the start of a downwards trend. And since then, we've seen the buyers try and fight back up here. But again, sellers are in control here. And again, here comes the bullish engulfing, where we can see this bigger green candle quite clearly swallows up the previous red. And there's the buying action going in. So right here, the sellers trying to take control, pushing the price right down here. And we see the buyers take back control right back to the top. And again, there's the uncertainty in the market right here. As we can see, the shooting star. And then we see the bearish engulfing, sending the price back down. But what I also want to show you, now, if we have a look, every time the sellers are trying to push the price down, they seem to hit round about this point before the buyers take control again. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to draw a little support line here. So this seems to be the price. If we have a look around, so for the past 3 months, the sellers have been unable to push the price below round about where it is now, $152 per share. Now, if we have a look at this, so we can see the downwards trend happening. There is the bearish engulfing. There's the uncertainty in the market. We've got the downward trend happening, but the sellers have been unable to take it past this point. Okay. Now, what we're looking out for again, what would you do in this situation? I know there's a poll currently on the webinar chat. Would you buy or sell this stock at this point? Now, if we have a look at the earnings report again, we can see that they release earnings on the 4th of June. We can see that they do have a lot of strengths. We can see that they have hit their EPS. We can see that they have hit their revenues for the past 20 straight quarters. Now, when they release them again on the 4th of June, are they going to hit? From a technical analysis point of view, we are seeing a downwards trend, okay? But can this downwards trend take us past this support line here? This is what we're looking out for. Now, at this point, do you think you will buy or do you think you would sell Salesforce at this point? Let's have a look. Okay, so going back to it again, like I said, they do have a lot of strengths, they do have a lot of weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay, another example of the bearish engulfing, like we mentioned, what we're looking out for is the red candles to engulf the previous green. And again, we can see it confirmed right here based on the stochastic oscillator. So this is Salesforce's live stock. Back to the presentation. Now, again, let's have a look at Salesforce again. Now, if you do have any questions at all, I will be happy to answer some now. I can see quite a few coming through. Let's have a look. Now, so out of the poll that we mentioned, 53% of you said you would buy, 47% said you would sell. So I'll tell you what we should do. Let's have a look. So the majority is saying buy, 47% is saying sell. Now, obviously, that's quite even. Now, that's good to see, though. It's good to see that. So the technical analysis is saying downwards trend. All the positive news about Salesforce, we can see an upwards trend. So what would we do in this situation? Back to the platform. So, like I said, from a technical point of view, there's a downwards trend. Yesterday, we can see that we saw uncertainty in the market. Remember what I wanted you to look out for. This is uncertainty. We can see, like I said, the bullish and the bearish engulfing here, but the uncertainty here. Is this the start of a possible upwards trend? Now we can see the support line. Is it going to push it past? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open a buy position probably at this point. Based on technical analysis, we can see that it's at the support line. We can see uncertainty in the market. EPS they've hit it for the past 20 straight months, and 53% of you, which is the majority, are saying buy as well. But I do have to let you know there are risks involved in any trading that you do. Okay, please do not open the position solely based on this presentation. Please do your own in-depth analysis. Please do have a look at it. But like I said, what we'll do here, we'll put a $20 position when market opens. Okay, but we'll see where it opens up in around about 6 minutes time. It could be good news, it could be negative. We'll see what happens. I've opened my position. What's yours going to be? 53% you said buy, 43% said sell. Now, I'm seeing some questions coming through again. One question, where do we get information to do the SWOT analysis for particular stocks? Okay, for any stock on the platform, I'll show you a few. Let's have a look at Apple. All right, so all we need to do, click on the information here. And then if we scroll down, we can see the full information here. Click on the full information. And it will bring up a live SWOT analysis as well. Now we can see all the positives, all the strengths analysis of Apple now. Okay, but the SWOT analysis, all we need to do is the overview of the stock itself, analysis, their next earnings reports are all here, and the SWOT analysis is right underneath it. But remember to always go, what we want to see is the information button, and then we scroll down for full information, and it will bring up a full in-depth SWOT analysis. Now, another question I've been asked, I need to know why the stocks normally vary daily. Well, what you've got to understand is the price of these stocks is always determined by people buying and people selling, okay? Whatever asset you're trading, whether it is stocks, whether it is Forex, options, it's the price is always determined by people buying and people selling. But what makes people buy a stock? What makes people sell a stock? It's exactly what we've just gone over. You know, it's technical analysis, it's price action. We can see the volume of people buying, people selling. This is what moves the price of the stock themselves. Okay, now what does the total figure mean in the top right-hand corner below the real account? Now this is just an open position that I have. So this is my balance right here. This is my real account, like I said, so please don't open positions based on what I've done. This is me personally opening a position. Now you can see I opened a $20 position in Salesforce. That is all the total figure is. Now, interesting comment from Suhas. Support has been used more times, so it will break. It's an interesting theory. Okay, so let's have a look at Salesforce again. I quite like that actually. That's quite an interesting question. So let's have a look at Salesforce again. The support has been breached, as we can see, a number of times. Now let's have a look. So we can see, but has it been breached? You know, we can see we've never seen a candle actually close below that support line. Okay, as we can see, the buy-in actually come in here. You see, every time the sellers tried to breach, yes, okay, the buyers pushed it back up. But this has happened on more than one occasion, and the sellers keep pushing, and buyers keep taking control of the market. Like I said, usually when we're looking at support lines, as you so rightly mentioned, Suhas, we can normally look for 3 to 4 breaks of that support line before it is inevitably broken. Now, yesterday, like I said, there was some downwards movement happening. Like I said, we'll see where it actually opens up in 2:42 seconds now. Now, like I said, I opted to buy. Like I said, they do release earnings report on the 4th of June. They have smashed all their earnings reports the past 20 quarters. But from a technical analysis point of view, yes, you're looking at the possible downwards trend. Now, I'm asked another question. What indicators would you recommend for analysis? In terms of the indicators, one thing that I'd always look to have on, especially if you're trading based on price action, would be the stochastic oscillator. We're looking at potential trend reversals always, okay? Because, like I said, when you're looking at price action, you're looking at the uncertainty in the market, and then you're looking at bullish and bearish engulfing candles. Now, as we can see, the stochastic oscillator. Now, some of you might find that if you use this on short-term options, or if you use this on smaller candlesticks, you might find that the stochastic oscillator actually lags a little bit. But you can use it as confirmation of your position. So like I said, here's the bearish engulfing candle again. We can see the uncertainty in the market here. So the buyers are in control. Then we see uncertainty in the market. Then we see the bearish engulfing happen. And then we see the confirmation on the stock and the stochastic oscillator as we see it come back down. Now, the stochastic, one thing I would always use, like I said, is the stochastic, because it's looking at trend reversals, okay? But again, if you're using price action, you're probably better off looking at more support, resistance lines, and the actual price of these candles themselves. Now, I've also been asked another question. When is the right time to actually enter a trade? Well, again, it's completely down to yourself. It's completely down to your own analysis of the stock. There isn't never really a right time or a wrong time to enter the market if you've got your analysis right. Now, if we're having a look down here, we can see, like I said, we're at the support line now. Now, it's been breached, as Suhas rightly mentioned, quite a few times. But the buyers have took control again and again and again, not letting it go at that point. Now, there is a chance when a stock can become a sentimental value. So this could be a sentimental value. People don't see that the stock itself should be worth less than $150 per share. But when is the right time to enter? That is something that's for you to decide. If you're having a look at the uncertainty in the market, I would always look to enter as soon as you see either the bullish or the bearish engulfing themselves. Okay, so at this point when we see the uncertainty, then we see the bearish engulfing. At that point there, you'd be looking at opening the sell position or a short position at that point. Okay, and we can see now Salesforce has just opened. My position has just opened as well. Let's see what happens, and we're seeing some buying action going through it. That's good to see. I'm quite happy about that. But now I think that's about time after all the questions we've seen. Keep watching Salesforce. Like I said, we're seeing some buying action happen into it now. As you can see, my $20 position is now 4 cents in profit. There we go. But keep an eye on the earnings report. The earnings report does come out on the 4th of June. If you do have any, I'm seeing some more questions coming through. What is the name of the volume indicator? It's under widget. So if you go to indicators, widgets, you'll see volume right here. And all you need to do is enable it or disable it. Okay. Now, so the volume indicator, I do apologize, I think we had some technical issues there, is found under widgets. Okay, volume is very, very important as well. Whenever you're trading with any sort of price action, you need to know how many people are buying, you need to know who's in control of the market. Is it buyers, is it sellers? Okay, but we can always find it under indicators, widgets, enable it or disable it, whatever your preferences. I know some traders like it, some traders don't. But whenever you're trading using price action, you need to know how much volume is going into the market. That's what actually moves the price of this asset. Okay. Now, I've been asked another one, how to use SWOT analysis. Okay. SWOT analysis itself, we're looking for, like I said, we're looking for strengths, we're looking at weaknesses of the stock themselves. Okay, again, let's have a look through it. So, like I said, we can always find it, an in-depth analysis on the tab themselves, on the stock themselves, under the information. Click on the analysis section, and then let's have a look down here. And again, what we're looking for, do these strengths outweigh these weaknesses? Like I said, Salesforce as a company is a leader in its own industry, okay? As we can see here, it has a very surprising result on EPS. But some traders or investors might look at this and say, okay, they undervalue their own expectations, okay? Causing them to, so there's positives and negatives, but they have beat EPS for 20 straight quarters. Now, EPS is earnings per share, and this is what shareholders and stockholders actually care about the most, how much money they're going to get. Now, if they're beating the EPS every single month, this is, a good start for that stock itself. Okay. I hope this has helped. Like I said, what we're looking at in terms of SWOT analysis, we're looking at combining the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. And then we're looking at combining that with the more technical analysis of price action. Remember to look out for the uncertainty in the market, look out for the longer wicks and bottom wicks and the shorter body of the candle. That is uncertainty in the market. Then look out for the bullish or bearish engulfing patterns. Anything else you need, like I said, we are available. Do send us a message. Send an email to us. We'll be more than happy to answer any more questions in the future. But for now, this is James. It's been a pleasure to speak to you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.